Now, if you just think about it, the human beings were sort of very animal-like up until that point. We were reactive creatures. Our instincts and the environment were just had a relationship, which meant we reacted in the present to everything. And yet, we had this dreaming mechanism, and animals had this dreaming mechanism. And in the dreaming mechanism, other things happened. You can see multiple possibilities symbolically represented in dreams, which we don't see in the real world when we're like an animal, just reacting to the present all the time. But it seems as though some individuals, about 40,000 years ago, started to access imagination. They could see things, without going mad or anything like that, they could see things that weren't there. They could solve problems. They could ask questions that were abstract. They could daydream, effectively, and use that daydreaming constructively. For example, they could imagine what a course of action might have on another group of humans. But in any event, something that we now take for granted, which is imagination and language that we use, wasn't always with human beings. For a long, long time, we weren't like this. We were much more like animals. When we had imagination, you could have a past tense and a future tense as well as a present tense. All animals have most animals have some degree of language, be it grunts or cries and so on, and birds do, and they can communicate, but it's always communicating in the present. It's always sort of alarm signals or mating calls, or there's food here, chaps calls, that kind of thing. And that's what animals do. It's reacting in the present. But with abstract language, which you can employ if you've got a past and a future tense, you can ask questions, fundamental questions about life. And you can solve problems. What made the difference is we suddenly had conscious access to the REM state. We had imagination and we could daydream. That made us different from all other hominids that had gone before us, including Neanderthals, and including early Cro-Magnon man, who couldn't do that. They were just learning by trial and error and so on, and they were learning certain things, but only in the way that animals can be trained. Suddenly, culture started up, and the result of the world we live in now is the result of that breakthrough that was made 40,000 years ago. But the REM state, understanding it, is key to human Givens therapy, human Givens approach to education, and so on. And that's why we encourage you to read the dream book and think about it and look at your own dreams and see a REM state phenomena in your patients and in your family and all around you. See, what does it mean that people keep sort of switching off and going off for a few moments, particularly if they're having an emotional memory? You see rapid eye movements. They're accessing something. It's connected to our instincts.